Hi guys, today is going to be a relatively quick one. I am just going to do a planner update. This year, I have a video from the beginning of the year that I talked about that I went with a different planner layout this year. I actually still use Plum paper. I still absolutely love Plum paper, will continue to use them, but I have typically done a layout that just has two named sections at the top and then the rest of the day is blank. And this year I went with a vertical layout that it is called, I think it's called the Me Planner. I actually need to find a blank one. So each day is a column, and then over here you get to name the sections whatever you want. And the only thing outside of that is the to-do list and the box over here. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through how I've been using it, what I like, what I don't like. Yeah, so let's get right into it. I have a love-hate relationship with this design, I'm not gonna lie. Some days I absolutely love it, and then other days I miss having just the blank space for my day. And that is because I've realized that on the days where I have a lot going on or I was really busy, I would write things in the previous layout. I would write it in the order of the day. So I would almost use it as like an hourly planner, and I'm not able to do that in this. So one thing that I do really like about this is that everything is organized in its own sections. But on days that I'm really, really busy and I have a lot of things at very specific times, is when I don't like it as much. Now I still have, hold on, I need to find a page that I can share with you guys that I do have filled out. This is like a typical messy-ish week. I also have thrown some to-do lists in there, which is again why I use rings instead of having it bound by them. That way I can just do whatever I want. So this is cleaner week, I guess, that doesn't have the post-it notes and stuff. And there are a lot of times that I have been using this second work section. So it is blank here, but on a lot of the other pages, it is filled out. I have been using it more as like my work to-do list at the top, and then the second section I put like, we have project numbers. And so I like that. I absolutely love having the to-do list over here. That is actually the main reason that I switched layouts, is because in the old planner thing, there was a daily to-do list on each day, but I really wanted there to be a weekly to-do list because there are certain things that I don't have a specific day at the beginning of the week. I know I need to get them done this week, just not a specific day. I am 50-50 on the meals. Back before it was at the top, I liked having the bigger space for the meals. However, this does work just fine. It's just if I switch things around, it gets really messy really quick. So like on this one, I ended up not cooking, and then it just gets messy. Whereas before I had plenty of room that if I changed my mind, I could just mark it out and still have room. That's the only thing that I don't like, is it just gets a little messier. I know I could cover it up somehow. There actually is one week where I just cut a post-it note and put it over it, and just redid it. But the other things that I don't like is this is the first time I ever did a Sunday as the starting of the week instead of Monday. Previously, I've always done Monday. I do not like starting on Sunday. And even though to me, Sunday is the first day of the week, I don't plan out my week until Monday. And so by the time I'm filling it out for that week, that Sunday is already over. So I would go back to a Monday start date. And the other thing that I would change, because like I said, on the days that I'm really busy, that's when I don't like this. The other thing that I would change is, I think instead of doing 2 work and just doing 1 meetings and appointments, because in my old one, I had one section that was my work appointments and then personal appointments, I would go back to something like that. I would do work appointments, personal appointments, or even I've considered just putting daily in the top two, and then I could put my appointments, or I could do a daily with times, but then I would still have these sections down here. So that's really the only thing that I don't like is it just feels like with work stuff being up here, appointments being up here, and like personal being down here, it feels like if I have things planned, that's not, so the way that I use personal is if it's something that I want to do that day that doesn't have a specific time. And so that's like picking up the groceries, or if I want to clean a specific room or something. And I don't know, I would maybe just reorder these, I guess. It's not that I don't like it. It just feels like I'm jumping around a lot more than I used to, because when it was just a blank section, I would just write it as my day was going to go out. And so especially on the days that I work from home, there's times that I'm jumping back and forth. Like I'm doing the personal tasks while I'm taking a break from my work. So that's the only thing that I don't like. Besides that, I actually really like this. I use it a lot more. I do slack a little bit on the habits column, which is one of the things I was a little bit worried about, but I don't necessarily think that that's the planner. I think that I have just been slacking at completing habits, good habits. So that's more of a me thing than the planner thing. I don't really miss having the habits box at the top. It works just fine to have it down at the bottom. Like I said, I love the to-do lists. And I also have really, really enjoyed having I added an extra, I actually didn't use it in April. So I added an extra blank piece of a blank paper at the end of every month. Instead of just having one, now I have two. I've actually used those most months. So I do like having the extra lined pages in here, that if I am going to a meeting, now I don't have to take separate notebooks. Or we've actually been having a lot of meetings at my church lately because we're going through some transitions and stuff and getting a new pastor. So we've been in a lot of those meetings. And so I've really, really enjoyed having the extra lined pages. As always, these, I've been using these just like I always do. I fill them out as the months come on. And so overall, I really like this planner. I do think that I am going to get this layout again next year. I just think I'm going to lay out these sections differently. It's just, I hate that I did a Sunday start day. Like, I absolutely hate that. There have been so many weeks that, like, if I'm planning ahead, I'll flip to a future section and I'll go, okay, on Monday I have to blah, blah, blah. And then I'll get there and realize that that's actually Sunday. And that is just because for the past 8 years, I've done a Monday start day in my planner. Like I said in my previous video, I wanted to do a Sunday start date because in my head, Sunday is the first day of the week. But when I plan my weeks out on Monday, that just doesn't make sense. Like, Monday needs to be the first column. So that is really the only thing that I really, really dislike about the layout. Again, just would reorder a few things. I am really enjoying the My Home section that I added to the back. And that is because it has these to-do lists. Now, I obviously have not filled it out completely. I also haven't updated this, but this is the one that I really need to get filled out, and that is a master cleaning guide. It does daily, weekly, monthly, and annually with certain rooms and things. And then I actually have used this laundry thing twice. It just is a guide to what to use to get certain stains out. It has a My Garden section that I actually didn't use because my garden was like, I was like OCD on my garden and used like Excel boxes and highlighters and all that. but it does have like plant neighbors, which I did use when planting my garden this year. So overall, I have been using some of the shopping lists and gift guides. Yeah, so overall, I really like this. Again, I always recommend Plum paper. I've used, this is the, is it MEA? Me? Is it me? I don't remember. I'll put right here what this layout is. And then the layout that I used previously was this one. And those two are my favorites, even though I have used others. I've used this layout before and I absolutely hated it. And it was because of what I titled the sections. So I think that there's still just a little bit more work to be done. But I think that I like the weekly to-do list enough that I will stick with this layout in the future, just because I'm not always the type that I need like a daily or an hourly. I do use daily, duh. But well, I guess not really. This is a weekly. I've always used weekly. I tried a daily. It wasn't a Plum paper, but I had a daily planner once, and it's just not for me. I don't go into that much detail every single day for it to be worth it. Obviously, there are specific days that I do, and then on those days, I actually just put in written to-do lists like I showed you previously. So weekly layout is really good for me. I don't need daily. There are days that I wish that I had hourly, so I might look into doing those top two boxes, just leaving them blank so I can fill in the hours instead of doing a meetings thing. But then there's so many days where there's only like one or two things that actually have a time. So I don't know. I just need to give myself a personal and a work appointments meetings section again. I think that's what I'm going to do. I might end up, there's still over half the year. I might end up just getting used to it, because I think that there are certain things that like I'm still used to my old planner because I did that layout for multiple years in a row. And so I think I'm still just adjusting a little bit, but overall, like I said, I still really like this. I would get it again. I am a vertical planner type of person. I like to be able to see the whole week. I like I like it to go left to right instead of top to bottom. That's just my preference. But yeah, highly recommend them. So again, if you are looking for a planner, I highly recommend Plum paper. I have used them for a long time and I will continue to use them. And yeah, so I hope that this update was helpful. Sorry, I was just shaking the table. But I hope that this update was helpful and that you enjoyed it. And if there's anything specific that you would like to see planner related, just leave it in the comments below. I'd be happy to make some more planner related videos. I don't go crazy into decorating or anything, so I'm not really the person to watch for that. But anything else that you might have questions about, I would love to answer them. So let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.